Hello, are you here to debate?
Yep, I'm here to debate.
All right, what's your name and how old are you?
Rick, I'm 27.
All right, Rick, what are you here to talk about?
I wanted to talk about number 2 and how it reflects against number 1.
How does number 2 reflect against number 1?
Well, so our guy was saying that, he was trying to quote all these studies about how trans kids have been helped by everybody, but he also thinks that capitalism is ruining society. I think that the two conflict with each other because I think capitalism is ruining those studies that he's trying to quote and back up right now.
You think capitalism is ruining the studies? Do you have any evidence on this?
Yeah, just how much lobbying money has gone into every single one of the studies he's about to quote.
I'm the one who's quoting the studies. It's me you're talking to, right? Can you provide the evidence?
How much lobbying? Can you give me one study that doesn't have lobbying money in it?
No, I'm not going to sort through every one of my studies. You've made the claim that all of my studies.
Yeah, don't make an excuse. You
are. Hold on, my guy. You are the one who's refusing to prove his claim. I'm not making a claim.
You didn't even
You're
ask
making
me
a claim.
Prove my point.
Yes, I just did. Yes, I just asked you to prove your claim. I don't have to back up your claim. You made the claim, which is that lobbying money is behind all of these studies. Show me the lobbying money. Show me which studies lobbying money is behind. Show me exactly how much money is behind it and from which group. You made the claim.
It's like picking a piece of hay from a hay bale. Why don't we start with name a study, and I'll go into the detail of every lobbyist group that went into that study.
Sure. Let's do it. Name me the lobbying groups that went into the study, which is short-term outcomes of pubertal suppression in a selected cohort of 12 to 15-year-old young people with persistent gender dysphoria in the UK.
Who and where did it come from? What's the source?
This is a study from, I'll pull you up the authors. Polly Carmichael, Gary Butler, Una Masick, Tim J. Cole, Bianca L. Dace Stavola, Sarah Davidson, Ellen M. Skagberg, Sophie Kadar, and Russell M. Viner.
All right, give me 2 seconds here.
Sure.
Short term. All right, well, the first one I'm looking at is GLAAD. Had something to do with it. GLAAD put in at least, it looks like they put in at least 200K into the first author.
What's your source?
Wait, I'm looking it up. This is a simple Google search.
Wait. What do you mean when you say they put in 200K to the first author? What does this mean?
Lucas Foster.
Uh-huh.
How much money do you think Lucas Foster has gotten from GLAAD just in the last year?
Tell me and provide a source for it.
200K.
Also, who the fuck is Lucas Foster?
The first author in the study that you just provided. The first author is
Polly Carmichael. There is no Lucas Foster on this study.
Well, yes, there is. It was the very first name on the study.
Polly Carmichael, Gary Butler, Una Masick, Tim J. Cole, Bianca L. Stavola, Sarah Davidson, Ellen M. Skagberg, Sophie Kadar, and Russell M. Viner. There is no Lucas on this study.
The first thing that comes up with short-term effects of gender-affirming hormone therapy on dysphoria. The first name is
That's
Lucas
not the
Foster.
study. The study is short-term outcomes of pubertal suppression in a selected cohort of 12 to 15-year-old young people with persistent gender dysphoria in the UK. You're not even reading the right study.
All right, hold on. Let's get to the right study then so we can go into how much money GLAAD and all these other HRC has put into the pockets of these guys. I don't understand when you're trying to deny that lobbying doesn't have a huge factor in this.
Yeah, so I think you don't know what lobbying is.
Okay, explain what lobbying is, because to me it's
Lobbying,
just a collective pool of money,
no.
right? To get a no,
Lobbying is when a group pays politicians to vote in their better interests. Lobbying is not when
right?
groups
That's
fund
a
research.
collective group of
Lobbying
money.
is not when groups fund research. That's not what lobbying is. Funding research
No,
is
but they
different.
definitely can fund research to betterment their whole cause. That's what the big tobacco is doing for years. Big tobacco is putting out all these studies and putting it in the hands of politicians, saying, "We got a study for you that says smoking is good."
Yeah,
It wasn't like they were going to
if you
the
disagree,
politicians finding the study. They were doing the study first.
yeah,
The
if
same
you
thing is
disagree
happening
with the
today in
study,
our
hold
world
on,
with
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
transgenderism.
on. But if you were to ask
You're the
me to
one who's
look at
just
these,
interrupting constantly.
hold on. If you were to ask me to look at these studies done by,
Hold on.
yeah, if you were the one, I'm going to keep talking. If you were the one to ask me to look at these studies done by these groups for tobacco, I would find flaws in the study. Either the sample size wouldn't be accurate enough, or the questions they asked would be leading questions. You tend to find inaccuracies in the study. Just because a study is funded from a specific group doesn't mean that the study has inaccuracies. So if you want to provide me the inaccuracies in the study, sure, I'll wait and listen. Provide me the inaccuracies. Don't just say, well, the study was funded by X group, therefore it's invalid. That's dumb.
But all I was trying to make was the point that I agree with you on point one that capitalism hurts, but you're so blind to believe that capitalism is amazing right now when it's doing exactly what you want it to do. You're picking and choosing when you want to agree with capitalism just on the base of your ideology. That's what I think is a little hypocritical in
What
your
are you
argument here.
talking about?
I'm talking about you made a whole list of debate topics. Then when you go, okay, transgenderism is totally right, totally fair. When anytime there's a study, it's totally right. Don't question it. Don't look at it. And then you're going, well, find the flaw in the actual study because I don't want to look at how bad the people are who are putting out the study or how unbelievably biased they are going into the study. Be a scientist. You got to actually do the research yourself. You're not. You're the one who's being hypocritical here.
I have read my studies. You have not.
You haven't conducted the studies.
Sure. Answer me this question. Provide me a counter study. Are there groups? Here, I'll ask you another question. Are there groups that are against trans people and especially against confirming like trans gender affirming care in minor populations? Are there groups against these?
Sure, like the Catholic Church, any
Then where's
religious organization.
then where's the counter? Why have they not put money to counter studies? Where are the counter studies?
Because
Why
they're
don't they
putting
exist?
money into donating to the poor and the needy and trying to look good. That's like their whole market in life. They don't really.
So there are no
topics.
so they care enough about gender affirming care to fight it on the political level, but they don't care enough to. Wouldn't it make sense that if they provided counter studies, they would have a more leg up in the argument?
No, because it's a little easy to just go, "Hey, is delusion good?" No. All
You don't
right,
know what
well,
delusion is.
Being delusional isn't good.
You have no idea what delusion is.
What is delusion then? Sorry, I don't know.
I assume that you would say delusion is when you just believe something that's not fact.
Yep.
That's what you've been doing this entire conversation.
Pointing at your hypocrisies? Yeah.
No, pointing at the fact that you don't believe in empirical evidence. What? Here, I'll ask you another question. I'll ask you a bigger question. What type of evidence could someone provide to you to change your mind?
On any topic ever?
On specifically the one we're talking about right now, trans men and women being men and women.
Capitalism being good?
Nope, the topic we're talking about, which is trans men and women being men and women.
Number one, it was the first one of the topics.
No, we're talking about number two.
Okay, well, you decided that we're talking about number two, but okay, since we're talking about number two, if someone was to point out that if you could change the X and Y chromosomes of a person, then I would totally be down for it.
How would they discover that we can change the X and Y chromosomes? What would they have to do?
You would literally just have to take a genetic test or prove
how would they inform the world that they did this? Would it have to be with studies? Would they have to study the chromosomes and write studies on the fact that we could change the chromosomes? Wouldn't that be the case?
Yeah, they would have to do it through like the UN and do it through like an empirical source that everyone usually universally agrees.
You mean like the NIH?
No, no, no. The NIH is an American film, not the UN.
The NIH is not American. The NIH is the National Institute of Health.
NIH is literally in D.C. What are you talking about? It's like near Bethesda, Maryland.
The National Institute of Health
is in Bethesda, Maryland. Where do you think Fauci works every day?
Where do I think Fauci works? I don't really give a shit where Fauci works every day.
Well, okay.
The national, but just so that way, hold on, just so that we can
making up facts or whatever.
Yeah, because the National Institute of Health,
a universal source of science and studies.
The National Institute of Health that I'm speaking about is the healthcare system in the UK, by the way.
The NHI?
No, I'm talking about the National Institute for Health and Care Research.
Yes, that's all right. So, but can they prove a study? Yeah, if they can prove that there's change to the chromosomes, then yeah. But no transgender research has actually proven that you can do that. They aren't even claiming that you can.
Well,
do that.
Yeah, because you're conflating sex and gender. You're saying they can't prove that you can change your sex. Yes, you are, because we're not talking about sex. We're talking about men and women. We're talking about gender categories. This would be you conflating sex and gender.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. No.
Yes.
So gender is just how you feel. Sex is the chromosomes that you're born with. So you're
sex
inflating that you can change both, right?
Let me answer your question. Sex is split into two categories: genotypic and phenotypic sex. Sex is not just chromosomes. Sex is a wide array of things. Your genotypic sex would be your chromosomal makeup. These are sex determinant traits that kind of dictate the rest of your sexual development. Then your phenotypic sex is going to be your hormones, your genitalia, your reproductive systems. These are all part of your phenotypic sex makeup. Your genotypic sex is immutable. Your phenotypic sex is modifiable.
Okay. Thanks for the education there. I appreciate it.
Gender is neither of those, by the way.
Yeah, gender is how you feel.
Correct. It's a subjective perception of your sex and the way your sex is oriented in your body.
So you're asking what do I think that they feel? Isn't it just like opinion based? Who cares?
Well, you've said that trans men and women are not men and women. And that the only way they could be men and women is changing their chromosomes.
Don't change, right?
Most trans people's sex do not change. Their genotypic sex, no. They can modify their phenotypic sex.
Okay. So it's just about their state of being, right?
That's how identity works.
I want to pretend to be a woman today.
No.
I want to pretend to be a man today.
No, your gender identity is a part of your brain chemistry. It exists in your hypothalamus.
Yeah, but you could also change multiple times in your lifetime.
No, your gender identity is determined in utero. And then it basically lies dormant until you hit around the ages 3 to 4. And then it concretes itself and your gender identity does not change. It stays as a concrete entity in your body.
So people who have transitioned multiple times, you think that they're just mentally handicapped people?
Nope. I think when we look at detransition rates, oftentimes this happens because they can't afford treatment. So they transition, they can't afford treatment, so they have to detransition until they can afford treatment again, then they transition again.
But what about the people who have chosen to do it multiple times? Like,
show me anybody that's chosen to transition multiple times. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, there was a couple out in California that both sets of people transitioned twice.
Okay, show me
the couple. And they're both
very
happy with the way that they transitioned. You're the one who's now saying, no, those people are mentally handicapped because
I'm not.
They were supposed
point
to be
me
born
to the couple. I don't know the reasons they detransitioned. Give me the name of the couple. How am I supposed to know the reason that they detransitioned? You haven't told me anything about the case. We don't know what the surrounding incidents were that caused them to detransition in the first place.
They wanted to. They felt like it.
Yeah. Show me the proof. Show me the proof of this. Show me the proof of this.
You're determining their factor for them.
No, I'm asking you. You're the one determining the facts for them.
To be a woman,
you are quite literally the person choosing their reasonings. You're saying they did it just because they wanted to do it. Show me the evidence of that. I'm not making a claim. I'm asking you to
Why would
support your
why would
claim
I choose that I wanted them to change transit? What are you talking
because
about?
it makes your
I wasn't like,
argument.
hey guys, you know what you think I should do?
No,
I think you guys should be a
my guy,
woman
Jesus
by age
Christ.
20 and like maybe a man by age 40 because I feel like that.
Jesus Christ, my dude. I'm asking you to provide evidence for your claim. Provide the
I
evidence.
gotta Google it, but hypothetically, right? What does it matter? You're the one who's saying, "Oh well,
Because
it's."
you're making the claim that the reason why they transitioned, right? The reason why they did this is because they just wanted to. Show me the evidence of this. Unless you have no evidence, in which case, don't bring up the claim. I'm telling you that when trans people detransition, it's because of either financial pressure, societal pressure, or familial pressure. You're not going to see somebody who detransitions because they are like changing their gender identity and then they're changing it back and going through the transition process again. You do have some people that are gender fluid, but gender fluid is in and of itself a static gender identity.
So this sounds like delusion to me. I don't know how you don't affirm
Great.
that as delusion.
I would love you to not try to move the point and provide evidence for the claims that you made. I don't know why we're doing this again. Why just provide evidence for your claim?
Well, there's Don Ennis who changed multiple times, went from male to female, then back to female, and he did it to support trans rights to show that he can do it as many times and to provide a strength to the LGBTQ community. So I guess that guy's just mentally ill, right, for doing that. Hello?
Let's take. I'm looking. You provided me something. I'm going to look it up and check for the actual evidence on this. She had a seizure, which led to her having memory loss. She had a seizure.
Yeah, but that's just part of the
seizure led to memory
process.
loss. That seizure led to memory loss, which led to her undoing her transition that she had publicly undone. And then once she got better from this, she transitioned again.
Right, so she transitioned multiple times.
Because of a seizure that led to memory loss, not because she just wanted to flip back and forth.
So the surgery was good then?
What? I don't even show that she had gender affirming surgery.
Was not part of the surgery?
What are you talking about? No.
Okay, so and the seizure was just by chance. They were just playing around with her brain, and then
what are you talking? She just had a seizure. You know, some people just have seizures, right?
Yeah, but it's a lot more common if you're poking around in their brain and hormoning them up.
What are you talking about? Are you just making shit up to have like a laugh? She didn't have any surgery.
Oh, well, you just said that she had 2 surgeries to transition.
No, all I said was she transitioned.
So she put on a wig?
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
What are you talking? How did she transition? She just put on some lipstick and said, "I'm a lady"? Is that transitioning?
She presented as female. That's how most people go through transition. I don't know where you're getting surgery from.
I don't know where you're not getting surgery from. You're the one who just said that she had 2 surgeries.
No, I don't know where you got surgery from. I didn't say anything about surgeries. I quite literally said nothing about a surgery. I don't.
Uh,
Where the fuck are you getting surgery from?
from you when you were telling the story of how she got the 2 surgeries.
You want to bet? You want me to play back the? I'll do it again.
Play
If I have
it
to do it for the
back,
5th time,
baby.
you want me to play it back?
back.
How much
Play
are you
it
betting?
back.
How much do you want to bet me that I didn't say surgery? $500. I'll bet $500
You
right
just
now.
said surgery. You just said surgery, so you lose.
Fuck off. Come on, bro. He got proven wrong and then started to fucking lash out trolling.